going on, everyone, and welcome back. Today is a very rainy, dreary day in New Jersey. It has been raining, it's cold, it's very nasty. So we are in the garage doing some sled stuff. I want to thank everyone for all the support on the last video. I appreciate you guys, and I'm excited to get this going like I said in the last video. Today we're going to go over my sled, Betty White. How I got it, what I ordered, what's on it, so you guys have an idea of where this sled is. Yes, I do have a new Matrix on order, or VR1, but for right now, we're gonna go over what is in front of me, because I do have to turn this all back to stock before I go and trade it in a couple weeks or whenever my new sled does come in. So I'm gonna go through everything with you guys. Again, what's done to it, why I did it, and go from there. So to start off, I did snow check this sled. So 2019, went on the Polaris website, built what I want, ran with it. This sled I got is a 2020 Polaris 850 Switchback Pro S. I got it all white. So factory options, I got all white because I really like the white. I'm normally an all black kind of guy, but I got all white, electric start, the fancy gauges, the PID gauges, PIDD as some of you guys call them. And that was really all. Oh, and I got an 1.5 inch storm track. So factory options, that was it. Oh, I lied. I did get a tether. So factory options, that was it. I always get electric start. Resale on them is so awesome. I don't necessarily need it. I can pull a sled. They start right up, but I don't want to. And if I ever go to sell it, it's a good selling point. So I got, that's how it was built. That's how it came from factory. Like I said, I did forget the tether. I did get that. And that was it. So got it home in the garage. And of course, got to tear into it. First thing, I always start with traction products. Always, always, always. I think that is kind of where factory stuff lacks a little bit. But I'm also an aggressive rider. So I like to make sure that I'm going to turn, and I want to have some traction on the back on ice too. So starting that off, always get a nice set of CNA Pro. I was a big runner for the XTs. They're the most aggressive ones you could get. Those are the ones that I raced with. They have a super deep keel. They're really wide, very aggressive. So last year I actually tried out the XCSs, which is a step down. They're kind of like a crossover ski. I did really like them. I'm gonna run them again this year on the new sled. But backing them up, we have Stud Boy 9-inch shaper bars. Again, super aggressive, but with this ski combo, for me, it's really what I like. So CNA Pro XCSs with 9-inch Stud Boy shaper bars. In the back, we also, again, 1.5 inch track, we have Stud Boy studs. Nothing crazy with it. I always do 2 down the center. And a diamond pattern. I never go on the outside. I'm not a huge fan of that. So for the 1.5 inch track, these were 1.625 Stud Boys. So just something right up the center. I'll show you guys from the front. Like I said, diamond pattern right through. Nothing too crazy. On top of that, so that gives us traction in the front, traction in the back. Beautiful. Next step I always do is I always, depending on, kind of what sled it is, I always change the suspension. I like, with having a racing background, I would like to say I'm pretty knowledgeable in what suspension does, what it's supposed to feel like. So I always either take the factory stuff, get it reworked, or I go aftermarket. For this sled, I actually had a 2019 before the 2020, and Bruce Senior and Junior, from Southside Polaris hooked me up with these QS3s from Fox. I never ran a set of QS3s before. They're awesome. So if you guys don't know what they are, so you pretty much have 3 settings for the most part. Soft, medium, hard, stiff. soft, stiff in the centers. I'm gonna go into a whole nother conversation about these, but so got them up front and got them in the rear too. So you have your rear track shock on these switchbacks, you know, the external ones. So you got one there and a little guy down there. So there's the adjustment. Really nice. They're quick on the trail. You want to go stiffer, softer, boom, boom, boom. Nicey nice. So got my suspension all done. Revalve by Bruce also. Me and Bruce go back and forth all the time about what to do and what I like. And he, you know, he's similar to me too. He likes pretty much exactly how I want a sled to feel is how he is. So it's easy for me because he just goes ahead and does it. So it's pretty nice. I was thinking about keeping the sled, not wrapped last year, but so many good companies jumped on board with me last year to help me out. So I wanted to, you know, represent them. So with that being said, you could obviously see this is not a stock wrap. My good friend over at 139 Designs, I got in touch with him and we came up with this. It's a little simpler, but it's just, I wanted to, you know, give some love to the people that were there supporting me and helping me out for the season. So I went ahead and pulled all the stickers off and recruited my uncle to come in here and help me put this on. So we bounced through that. Came out awesome. I really love the look of it. It held up great for the whole season. So this year's sled, still to be determined on what I'm gonna do. For me, I'm one that always gets cold. So I know a lot of guys like the look of the real low windshields. I actually prefer the look of the mid windshield, and I prefer the mid windshield because I am freezing all the time. Unless I'm really, really moving around, but it doesn't happen too often, not trail riding. So I like the warmth. So I run the mid windshield on these, and I do have a mid coming for the new sled. And these are a set of Rocks handguards, actually. The real big snowcross ones. They are from when I used to race. Actually, I had a set laying around, and they are awesome. They're so spacious, I guess you'd say, and they keep my hands warm. So I do run them. It does rub a little bit at full lock, but I will take the rubbing for my hands to be nice and warm. I'm actually, now that everything's up there, I could probably lower it down and get you guys up top. So give me 1 sec. All right, so it brings us up top here. So windshield, we got my tether. Tether always gets hooked to me. I know a lot of guys don't ride with tethers, but I really like them because they could be the difference between a really bad day or a day that can continue on. So it's just clipped there for now, but it's not actually normally there. Up in my cockpit, as I call it. So I have standard bars. My bar, I don't change the bars. I actually like factory bend bars. But up here, I do have the RSI Racing throttle block. So what this does is it's the same factory configuration as a stock one, but it incorporates, I don't know if I could get in there, the kill switch button on the sled. So one, it cleans up the handlebars because I like having a cleaner looking set of handlebars. So, and you can't have your buddy drive by and play the old slap your kill switch down because it's a push button. So for it to work, you got to hold it down for a little while. So that's awesome. That will 100% be going on my new sled. I also have little shorty RSI riser block in there. I'm not a fan of a big, tall riser. And then that's really about it. You know, Fly Racing bar pad, hand guards, pid gauge, and I have the windshield bag. I actually ran my phone charger from the USB plug into the bag. So every time that I left or, you know, I was going somewhere, I'd plug my phone in so it would charge while I ride, which is really, really good. Exterior wise, that's about it. Pretty much everything that I do, I just went over. So now we're gonna get into the engine compartment. There's not too much that goes on in there, but I do have a couple things done, so I'm gonna pop everything off real quick and show you guys. So in here we have factory clutches, but the internals are different. So again, I partnered with the guys at Straight Line Performance, so they hooked me up with their 850 clutch kit. So it changes the springs, the weights, the helix and the spring in the secondary. So primary, secondary. So that was what we ran last year. It was awesome, great, really big improvements over the factory sleds. And I, again, will be running it this year. On this side, we have the Straight Line Performance can. I had their head pipe on, which I ran all season and it was great. When I went to go turn the sled back to stock is when I decided, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and document all this. That's why it's not on currently. I do have it. It's ran all season. It was great. But for right now, I was like, I'll just throw the can back on because that was easier to do. So we have their can. It is not much louder than stock. It gives it a little bit of a tone at wide open. So put the sled on a diet, not much louder, no one bothers you. And it looks cool when you open the hood. Especially when you have the whole exhaust, the whole head pipe and everything. Mint. But that was really it. I wanted to go over the sled with you guys before I start tearing it back apart to put it back to stock and going through, you know, how to do the suspension changes and everything like that. So that is what I have done. If you guys have any questions on anything else that you saw that I did forget to go over, I don't think I did. But if I did, I apologize. And I will happily answer it in the comments or in the next video. So that is Betty White. Betty White will not be mine for much longer. We are waiting on the VR1, but that is it. Next video, I'm actually going to be kind of switching gears here and going from the sled scene, and we are going to go over good old Ron Burgundy out there. I know a lot of you guys follow along Greg A's channel, and you saw when we went and got the wheels and everything, but it's come a long way since then. So I'm going to show you guys, give you guys a little insight on where we are with that, or where I am with that, so you guys could check that out. So again, I appreciate you guys stopping in. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And you know how I could tell you guys that it's a rainy, dreary day? Check out my sidekick. Look at this guy. What are you doing? Nash, he's like, guys, it's raining. I'm sleeping all day. Don't bother me with anything, all right? I'm gonna stay right here. That's a good boy.